morning, friends. This is breakfast this morning. I'm having a big breakfast. I'm having 2 dippy eggs. I saw that on Instagram. I thought that was so cute. So 2 eggs so that I can dip my sausages in. That's 4 points. I've got 6 of the sausages from Costco that I've shown you guys before, and that is 4 points. So I have 8 points. I've got a 0-point coffee right here, so 8 total. And I'm watching a little bit of YouTube and having breakfast. Actually, this is Gina. She's also on Weight Watchers. And then I'm also planning sort of my day's meals. I have a little chicken stir fry microwave thing I'm going to have for lunch today. I don't normally do those because they have a lot of sodium, but they're nice in a pinch when you haven't done a lot of meal prep, especially like a holiday week like this. I'm going to try to get my steps in today. I think I'm going to go to Costco tonight, which may be crazy 2 days before Thanksgiving, but I don't know what choice I have. I got on the scale this morning to just see, and this is my old scale. I was down like 3 pounds on my old scale, and I don't know if I can trust my old scale. But anyway, I have some meatballs from IKEA that are vegetarian that I'm gonna try tonight, and we'll see if those are good. It's 9 of them for 7 points, so I'll show you guys a little bit later. Now I'm gonna go put some makeup on my rosacea. I can't even speak. And I will chit chat with you guys in the car. Good morning.
Good morning, sweetheart.
Moses is up too, and he's checking out my cookbooks. See you later, Mosey. Have a good day. Have a good day, boy. It's a little overcast this morning. And it's cold, which I love at this time of year. I think for me, it doesn't feel like a holiday unless it's a little chilly. And I love snow. And I used to live up in the New York area. I used to live in New York. And I just loved the beautiful changing of all of the seasons. So this has been interesting. Thank you, sir. This has been interesting where we live now because we don't have as many seasonal changes, and so I miss just the real dramatic, like, changing of the leaves, springtime, all of that. I love it. So, I wanted to chit chat with you guys a little bit about Weight Watchers Flex, and I am not an expert. This is just me chit-chatting. So there's a lot of information online about the program changes. If you go on Connect, Weight Watchers Connect, you can definitely find information. But I just wanted to talk about it just for my own. I guess I'm trying to wrap my own head around it, and I'm feeling very positive about it, and a little nervous because I just started Smartpoints. So I'm just getting my habits together on Smartpoints. So for me, this is going to be an interesting change. Just like I think for a lot of people that have been doing Smartpoints for a long time, and then, you know, newbies like myself, who we just got ourselves figured out on Smartpoints, and now we're going to be switching. My meeting was great last night. My leader didn't mention anything about the Weight Watcher changes. I don't think that they can do that. I believe that it threatens their job if they mention that. So, mum's the word. She didn't say anything, and no one in my meeting seemed to, you know, be talking about it. Although we're all on Connect, so I'm sure they have heard some of the rumors. But Weight Watchers did officially roll out Weight Watchers Flex in the UK last week, or the week before, I think around November the 12th. And I think it gave us a good indication of how they're going to change the program here. And of course, we could all be wrong, so who knows, but it looks like they have trialed the new program. They did a 6-month trial is what I read, and found that members lost more weight, felt more satisfied, and really liked the new program. So Weight Watchers in the UK released a list of 200 foods that are going to be 0 points now. And they're like a lot of lean proteins and that sort of thing. Items that were on the list that are kind of cool, like corn, looks like it's going to be on the list. And I'm not saying that definitively, but avocados and sweet potatoes look like they're not on the list, so that we don't go hog wild on those. I believe at some point Core had avocados on the list. You all can correct me if you ever did Core years ago. I know that Simply Filling right now, you know, avocados are countable. So, and I love avocados, so that's why I'm so interested. So it looks like basically what will happen is, if Weight Watchers in the United States goes the same route, we will get a smaller daily point target. And they're probably not going to call it Smartpoints anymore, but you'll have, maybe they will, I don't know. But you'll get, like, say 23 Smartpoints for the day. And if you eat off of the list, you don't count those points. So let's say you have lean chicken breast or lean ground beef, that's 0 points. But say you have your chicken breast with some pasta, you would count the pasta but not the chicken breast. So I think that's going to be very interesting for people that like to make a lot of casseroles and things. You all have seen the way that I eat right now. Is one of my subscribers said you have very structured meals, and that's a really great way of putting it, is I try to keep it as simple as possible. And that is actually something that when I was in New York, I went to Overeaters Anonymous a few times with some friends of mine, and I read the OA material, and they talked about having like a set menu and very structured meals, and how that helps not stimulate sort of that binging thing that a lot of us who have what I think is a food addiction, it doesn't stimulate that part of our brains. So I try to stay structured, and I think on the new program, it sounds like being structured is going to serve people very well. And then at the same time, I think that you can make a lot of things out of the lean protein list, like a lot of casseroles and things. Like I think of one of my old favorite things to go to was Weight Watchers chili, and I believe that beans are on the 0 point list. Your canned tomatoes are on the 0 point list, and then your lean ground beef, I'm thinking, will be on the 0 point list. So you could have an entire 0 point entree, you know, with the Weight Watchers chili recipe. I'm getting hot. Woo! And just count for, let's say you like to eat it with chips and cheese and sour cream, you would count your chips and cheese and sour cream. So I believe that that's how that's going to work. Also, it sounds like you'll have you can bank 4 points per day per week. So today, if my points allowance is 23 and I only eat 19, then I have 4 points left over, and I can bank those points to use at another time during the week. And then, of course, when the week is done, your points restart again. I don't know what they're doing for activity, and I'm sure you guys have done some research, so maybe you can help me here. I don't know what they're doing for activity points. Will we still be earning activity points? And then it sounds like we will still have weekly points to use. From what I've heard, they will be lower, but you know, this is all just things I've read on the Weight Watchers UK site. I read an article on MSM. And then just different people just sort of talking about what they know so far. People on Instagram that are already following the program in the UK, things like that. So you can do your own research, but I just wanted to kind of talk about what it sounds like the plan is going to be like, because I am processing it in my own head. A big part of being a Weight Watcher is being prepared, you guys. So I'm really trying to have an open mind, not stress, not worry about it, and think, okay, how is this going to work with what I'm doing now? And I think it's going to work really well for myself. I hope that it helps a lot of other people. Like, it sounds like it's done well in the trials, and people have been more successful at the scale. And I know it's not all about the scale. So that's kind of my thoughts on the new program. Lunch is a steamer bowl for 5 points. And I'm going to say that this is about 2 tablespoons of guacamole with some peppers and a La Croix, kind of measly. So I think I'm going to be hungry, but I do have an apple and some PB2 that I can have in a little while. Good evening, everybody. I am eating carrot sticks and drinking water. And I just got done at work, so I'm going home. And I'm so happy to go home. I'm so tired. I don't know what the deal is, but I'm just tired all day long today. So I kept getting up to take walks to get my steps in, and then also to wake myself up. I drank green tea, I drank chai tea, but I have 8,400 steps, so that's good. But I was sitting here getting the carrots out and starting to eat them, and I was thinking about how different my life has been since I started working on days. And if you are a nurse or have ever worked night shift, maybe you can identify with, or just you have a stressful job, I don't know. You can maybe identify with eating when you're stressed out. And a couple of years ago, when I was working L&D, I had a charge nurse position, and so there's a lot involved in that. And I would get up in the afternoons around 4 o'clock, which would be like 4 o'clock in the morning. Sorry about the shaking. And I would eat breakfast, and so I usually would eat like breakfast type foods, and sometimes I would eat dinner type foods, and I would always start off trying to be healthy and eat like a salad or eat something with a lot of protein. And then I would work a 12-hour shift, which a lot of times turned into 13 plus a commute. And I was really bad towards the end of the 10 years that I worked nights. I was really bad about prepping my food. I feel like I had just sort of given up. And usually I would get like a salad or something. I really would try to get something somewhat healthy and take it to work. But the problem was that as an L&D nurse, I was so extremely busy. you know, most of the time, we would have downtime, but most of the time, that if I started eating lunch, I'd have to get up and adjust monitors, or run back to the OR for C-section, or put an epidural in, or give, you know, start somebody on MAG, or, you know, or somebody has to push and it's time to have a baby, or I have an all-natural patient that needs a lot of support and I'm not leaving the room. So, you know, and you can have all of these emergent situations as well. So a lot of times I would start eating, I wouldn't finish eating, and then, you know, 2 hours later, your salad's been sitting open on the counter and you're starving. So when someone offers you, you know, one of the doctors brings you bundt cake, heck yeah, you're going to eat a piece of bundt cake. You're stressed. It's the middle of the night and you haven't eaten anything. So, and then I got into this pattern where I was, on the way home, I was going through McDonald's, and you know, I remember initially going through McDonald's because I loved their breakfast stuff, and getting like an Egg McMuffin, a hash brown, and an orange juice. Well, that turned into me, especially if I had really bad nights where there was death, you know, just really bad things happening, that I was like, screw it, and I would get like a bagel or something. Like a bagel with like every, you know, every possible meat, cheese, and whatever on it. I don't know why I feel emotional about this. Is stupid, but it just was really, I had a really hard time. So I went to my doctor a couple years ago, and he said, you're killing yourself, because my weight had gone back up to 279 pounds, and my highest weight pregnant was 288. I'd never been 279 pounds, you know, not pregnant. And he said, you know, night shift takes 7 years off your life. And I just said, well, I don't know that I can change my eating, but I can get a day job. So I started applying for day jobs, and really took me about a year to, you know, I feel like maybe I have, or have had maybe a little bit of, this sounds very dramatic, and please forgive me if I'm being overly dramatic, but I just saw a lot of bad stuff, and it took me about a year to kind of like decompress from all that and be like, okay, I can sleep again at night, and I want to start taking care of myself again. You know, but I just feel like I really did a lot of damage to myself. And I think that this is why we have so many burnt out nurses, and we have so many like angry, I worked with a lot of angry nurses, and the thing is, I love nursing and I love taking care of people, but the price that you pay a lot of times is very high to be in healthcare, and it's high to be a physician, it's high to be a nurse, it's, you know, high for our techs that work. There's a lot of nurse and doctor burnout. There's a very high suicide rate for doctors, and it's just a bad situation. So I have not cried about my job or any of that in a really long time. So I guess it just hit me. But the reality is, I miss labor and delivery, but I don't miss the person that I was when I was working nights on labor and delivery. And I'm very thankful that I'm getting, you know, that I have a chance to change and continue to change, and that I'm getting healthier. And I think it's important to remember how bad I felt, because I feel so much better. So when I talk about being tired, and I had, you know, I had Like today I had kind of a meh kind of day. It's nothing compared to things I've had to deal with in the past, and I'm very honored to have been able to take care of the people that I've taken care of. I have 19 points worth of food here between these meatballs from IKEA. They're vegetable meatballs. I just tried one. They're delicious. And then my husband has already thrown this out, but I'm making a bag again of this riced cauliflower stir fry.
I didn't throw that out.
Did I throw it out?
You threw it out.
And they're eating spaghetti. But I'm eating this because this is what I wanted. So we are doing a couple separate meals. I don't know if I'll eat this whole thing or not. I'm going to add a bunch of broccoli to this as well to make it really filling. So if I eat the whole thing, it's 19 points, and I'll have 4 points left for the day. If I eat half of it, I'll have like 10 points. And then we've got to go run a couple errands. Got my taste tester over here. Is it delicious? It's gonna be hot.
Ooh,
anyway, they're making pasta sauce, so that's
really
what we're doing. So I ended up eating that whole thing for 19 points. Very hungry tonight, so again, probably hormonal, so that's probably why I'm tearful as well. Not sure. I have 4 points left, and not sure what I'm gonna do. I'm thinking about going and getting some Halo Top and having a serving of that for dessert, even though I'm not like a huge Halo Top fan. Hi, honey. My husband's watching me from the kitchen. He says hello. So I think I'm going to get some Halo Top. I am going to finish out my 4 points probably, though, because it's still kind of early in the evening. Well, it's 6:45, so I'm going to do that. So I'm probably going to hit right at 38. Last night I never did have, I was going to have ice cream last night, and I didn't because I went to Chick-fil-A and got that salad. So I ended up yesterday with 41 points. So anyway, I am hungry. I am going to eat 4 more points, I think. Although now I'm starting to get full. You know, it takes a little while to feel satiated and satisfied. So we'll see. But I might do a little something. But I'm going to end out the vlog here and check in with you guys tomorrow. I have a half day. We've got to go run a couple errands right now, and I'm not going to go film that because it's Target. Who cares, right? I hope you guys had a great OP day on plan, and thanks so much for watching and subscribing and hanging out with me and supporting me, and I hope I can also support you guys. So drop me a comment below and let me know what's going on, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Good night.
Yeah, bring you up.